Hello, hello, hello. Let's listen to Olli play Rhythm Future 8 years ago. It's probably gonna embarrass him. I'll put something more recent on YouTube. Olli shreds, dude. Belleville solo. Fast forwarding to the solo. You gotta do that. Hey, Cheryl. I know it's a little bit early for the viewership. There we go. Here's Olli. Add. Add. Hey, Steven. Steven with a V. What's up, Michael? Olli, can we figure it out? Guest denied the invitation. How did that even happen? Let's try it again. Add. Don't deny me, Olli. There he is. Olli.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, dude. Are you
Man?
smoking weed? Look at you. No, okay. He told me he was hanging out with cats yesterday with a severe allergy.
Yeah, actual cats. I have some allergy. If I touch cats, my eyes they go like this,
Oh, man.
That's the problem.
Well, we're just listening to you play here. There's a lot of people watching, and
yeah, I'm watching too.
Yeah, well, you're crushing it, dude. You're crushing it. Young guy too, dude. I used to be the young guy. Now I'm the old guy. You're 20.
Well, I used to be the young guy, but I don't know what happened.
Right? You're 28 now. Oh shit! The young guy just left the feed. Where is he? Uh-oh, Olli. For some reason, Olli is no longer in the feed. Olli, can you go off the feed and back on somehow? Just restart the page. It's not letting me add you currently. Facebook is being faulty, guys. Oh, here he is. Add. There you are.
Here we go. Something happened. I think I put the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's that.
No worries. Dude, so you're like one of them child prodigies that we hear about. Like, what age did you start crushing it?
Well, I started playing guitar, when I was 12, and I got into guitar through like rock, heavy metal, all that. Maybe I should put this phone down so it's not moving, and then when I was 14, 15, I had a teacher who introduced me to Django's music.
Ah, he's off the feed again. What's going on? There you are.
Why? It kicks me out for some reason. It just says like thanks for joining and then kicks me out,
Mark Zuckerberg hates gypsies.
Yeah. Oh my god. So anyway, so I got into gypsy jazz when I was 15 years old, and fell in love with the music, and, been doing it ever since.
Well, how long did it take you to like get out there and start like playing, feeling comfortable, soloing, doing all that stuff?
Well, my first teacher, he was a hobbyist guitarist, and he loved Django's music. So when I was taking lessons with him, first we would just like go through pop tunes and just like chords and like basic stuff. But then little by little, like he started to teach me the gypsy jazz repertoire because he wanted someone to play with.
Right.
So I was 15 when I got like started playing little gigs around my hometown in Finland, and so that was great. I mean, I was playing rhythm guitar first, and I think that was a good.
Yeah, that's
good,
key.
like,
That's definitely key.
Yeah, get like the experience, and even though they were like little tiny gigs, I was so excited about them and like just practicing 8 hours a day.
Yeah, That's the life. When you're a kid too, you don't have anything else to do. So that's amazing.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm doing the same thing now. So,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Now that's life. That's funny. So
Yeah.
how come, it's like I watch you and like, I'm a big fan of your playing. I think you're great.
Thank you.
But I do notice it's like, you're a weird hybrid between like these two worlds of picking, and you're really like, like the rest stroke thing, like you're not really a purist when it comes to that, especially like with the fast linear stuff. But, the first time I was aware of you, I watched that video you put on like for Rhythm Future. I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, right? Not the band, like the song with the AJL guitar thing. And and I was like, who is, and then I didn't realize it was you because your hair was totally black. So what's the natural color? Is it black and you oxidize it? Oh yeah, that you look like the evil version of yourself back in those days.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
That's funny.
but yeah, it's like, I was watching it, it's like, so it seems to me like when you're playing, like you do the rest stroke stuff when it's like the slow kind of things and the sweeping kind of stuff, but like for the linear stuff, there's kind of like a flattening of the wrist and you just cross string normal.
Right.
So was that technique? I don't know. Like how did that come about?
Well, I mean, gypsy jazz seems like there's a good scene anywhere right now, and so in Finland too. Helsinki, there's like a good scene and all that. But like, when I started, there wasn't really people to play with or so I just got all the information from YouTube and I bought a few books and stuff. So, but like when I started playing, I mean, nobody told me about gypsy picking. I just saw like the guys are holding hand like this,
right?
And I got the book, the gypsy picking book. But I was big fan at the time, like Al Di Meola and those guys. And there was like videos of right, and he was like the master of what do you call it? Alternate picking.
Right.
So I was like always practicing alternate picking, and then when I discovered gypsy picking, I tried to get it together and figure it out, but like I've been able to get a sound.
That's really the testament to that. If the sound's in your mind, you just dig for it, so it's like you could do it in a lot of ways.
Right. So I mean, I'm able to get a decent sound out of a gypsy guitar with the kind of like the alternate picking.
Yeah, I have to say
it going.
To me, like like you're the only one that I heard that really gets a sort of authentic sound with that technique. To where it's like, I've been guilty of slowing down some of your videos on YouTube, like 50%. Like, it's like there's no bend. That's an upstroke. Is that? Is he playing an upstroke?
That's funny. Well, it was funny, violinist Christian van Hemert, and he's like really into doing the transcriptions for Stochelo and that, and I think he told Stochelo and Stochelo was like, it's not possible to get a like a enough volume and tone with the with the upstroke, alternate, but.
I've seen you playing with like Paulus Schaefer, and like it's like when you guys like are playing acoustic, it's like both are audible, and so it's like you figured it out. But yeah, it's definitely impressed.
Right.
I want to ask you, like, when you tour now, because I know you tour, is it like mostly like one-offs, or do you like get in a van and do the market to market thing in the States, or do you usually just fly for a gig, play one, like?
Well, it's both, but with the Rhythm Future Quartet, that's definitely it's been my busiest thing.
Sure.
The last I moved to New York 2014, so pretty much since then.
Before 2014, where were you?
I was in Finland.
Finland.
In Helsinki, yeah.
Okay. So what made you choose this? I mean, it seems, at least from here, it seems like the scene in Europe is just as big as the scene in the States for this kind of music. Is that wrong?
Well, I kind of like it just kind of happened. Yeah, like New York or US never was like it's not real like a gypsy jazz, uh, the center of
Hub,
gypsy
right?
jazz,
Yeah.
right? But it's just like meeting people. There's a big festival in Finland, Pori Jazz,
Hmm.
where I was playing. So I met people from the US, and they encouraged me to come to New York just to check it out or just to visit.
Hmm.
And then like actually 2011 was the first time I visited New York. So and I came here to visit and just check out the. I fell in love with the city and
Yeah.
like and the I can speak English, but I can't speak French. So that was like
Right.
another big thing.
Moving to
And
Paris would
just
be challenging, right?
right, and then just work started to come in the US, so it was a natural kind of thing.
Sure. And let me ask you this: like, how does the machine of gypsy jazz look like? It's like there's a lot. I mean, I'm from the fusion world, more like and we like with Marbin, we just tour and do that, work the U.S. circuit. But like for you, like record labels, management, like how does it look like to get any sort of, you know, like are you totally independent? Do you have a manager? How do you work your business side of things?
Well, me and the Rhythm Future, we're pretty much independent.
Hmm.
We've been doing.
That's the
I
way to
mean,
do it.
Rhythm Future, has we have a agent, and we work with the agency
For
and
booking.
actually right.
Yeah.
But like Jason Anik, the violinist, he takes care now most of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, last 4 years and the last 2 years we were really busy, and we would do the thing that just fly somewhere like Atlanta or rent a van and play all these places around it.
Sure.
Uh,
And
and so we did a lot of that. This year has been a little bit a little bit slower, but it'll pick up again in May
yeah,
and
well, the year just
summer
started,
fall.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
right.
do you do a lot of that thing where you just kind of fly solo, play with local musicians, like, you know,
I did that like before I moved to US.
dude, that
Yeah,
sounds
actually,
terrifying.
it was that's one way to do it. Yeah, it's and
Yeah. Like,
but it's a
whatever
well, it's,
whatever rhythm guitar player you get, like, people
right. I mean,
burying you, rushing, slowing down. It's like,
yeah, I mean, but you get to play with different people and meet nice people. That's cool. But it's kind of like it's a lonely life too. If you just travel by yourself and
oh
then
my
and
God.
you go somewhere where you've never been before, and they put you in a hotel, and then you wait for the gigs to start. So
That's like what
uh,
comedians talk about, like, doing stand-up comedy where you're just like hanging out in the hotel watching TV, go to the gig,
yeah,
like meet
yeah,
somebody maybe.
right. So I did that a couple of years before you know uh, moving to US. But
Hmm.
in Europe, like you mentioned, Paulus Schaefer. So got to play with some great people too, and
Yeah,
and actually playing with Paulus in May again. So I'm looking forward to
some
that.
some of the best. So
Yeah.
how are connections made in the scene nowadays for like the gypsy stuff? Like, how, like I saw that, you play with basically everybody who's like doing things now, right? So you're playing with Paulus, you did stuff with Joshua Steffen, did
Mm.
stuff with all these people. Like how are these connections formed?
Well, for me, how I kind of got out there and got into the scene was YouTube.
Mm.
Like you said, like those videos 8 9 years ago. So those were probably like some of the the first ones, and then I used to go to Samoa, the festival in
Mm.
France, every year when I was living in Europe.
Mm.
So I went 5 years in a row and met. That's pretty much where you meet the uh, big chunk of the scene.
Are people like very open there? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I
does
don't.
it get clicky?
I mean, again, I don't speak any French, so that's what I wish I did.
Right.
But then, you know, the people who speak English, you
You buddy
you
up.
hang with them. Right,
Oh.
right. And that's how I got to meet a lot of the other people from United States.
Oh, okay.
And
That
so I
makes a
had a
lot of sense.
right. So when I then finally came here, it was like I knew already so many people from the gypsy jazz scene.
I could totally see that because it's like, I'm from Israel and it's a total drag when it's like a table of like, 10 people who just want to hang out in Hebrew and have like the time of their life. And then like one person who speaks English comes, it's like, hey guys. And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, let's all
Right, yeah.
switch for this dude. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a total. Louis C.K. has a joke about it where it's like, he goes to France and it's like everybody is like trying to be polite because he's there, but it's like
Right.
it's like doctors and like thinkers and like they're reduced to be like, I did good thing today. Did you do good?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
drops
yeah.
the level of the conversation like three
Right, yeah.
notches.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
that's awesome. So let me uh let me ask you about this. Like what's your practice day look like when you do have time to practice and work on music? Like what do you do
Well, now I've been so I'm
nowadays?
yeah, I'm in Queens, Astoria right now. So
Mm-hmm.
and I like this so just kind of like playing local gigs now in town. Don't have
Mm-hmm.
much traveling going on this month. So I've been actually practicing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my practicing these days has been like, you know, not so much gypsy jazz focus. So I've been playing, you know, more actually archtop guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I saw that new
uh,
AJL. It looks absolutely
right.
sick.
Yeah, yeah. So the both AJL, he not only makes amazing gypsy jazz guitars, but like his archtops are.
Mm-hmm. The shit, right?
So check them out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's a big
uh,
shout out for those of you guys who don't know. Ollie plays AJL guitars. They're pretty much the
yeah.
best like gypsy guitars and also archtops you'll see. This dude is from where? He's Danish,
Finland.
Finland. Oh,
Yeah, fellow
that
Finn. Yeah,
that's the so it's the two of you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the two
No,
of you and the prime minister.
well, it was, you know, it used to be just him in Finland because and uh yeah, I mean actually Arjukka, that's AJL, Arjukka
Uh-huh.
Luomaranta. So anyway, he was a big part. He introduced me to a lot of people in Samoa because he goes there here to show
Mm.
guitars,
How
and we
how young did you meet him? Like when did that come about, that relationship?
I was like I met him when I was maybe 15 or
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So that's a good foot in
So
the door, yeah.
right, but back then, but then you know, then I would like, you know, send him actual videos like, oh, see how I play now, and you know,
Uh,
so we when I was like maybe 17, we became good buddies and been friends
yeah.
and ever since.
You had to
Yeah.
like step the playing up a few notches, being like, check out this lick. It's like, oh, we're
Right,
gonna.
right. Well, he used to be the guy to bring these great like Joshua Stefan, Paulus, Andreas over.
Mm,
He brought those guys to Finland to play. So he was a that's how like got to see the real deal live.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he's been in the scene for a very long time, knows everybody.
Mm-hmm. So what are you working on now with your archtop? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've been actually like practicing some Bach and what else? I'm working on. I've been playing some trio with drums and bass, so I need to get my like little chord melody thing going. So I've been like just learning new tunes and
nice.
couple years ago I got into Brazilian music, choro music. So
Right. I saw that,
uh
like all those fast single lines, just like,
right,
straight
right.
16 stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just learning those tunes, it's been
That's a
a lot
project.
of good. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I play a lot with a metronome. Like if I just play tunes, I just usually put the metronome on and just like pick a tune and play the changes and
Mm-hmm.
um, but
And
nothing really like I don't nothing really like scale kind of
sure.
things
Well, what's your process
or
of like learning a new piece of music, a new tune?
Uh, like these shorter pieces, they're so involved that
Very long.
right. So it's like even to learn the melody, you kind of have to you memorize it by heart, and then the changes are like actually very specific. So
Sure, but what's the process of like learning something by heart for you? Like how do you chop it up? Do you like, I don't know, listen to the whole thing a few times, go a few measures at a time,
uh,
pick it up all by ear?
well, lately I've been reading more. If there's the music, just to have
To practice
yeah,
the
right. So uh, but I used to be all ear, just uh, just like transcribing a ton. So I need to get back transcribing more, but lately I haven't been doing that much.
right.
But usually, if I learn like a new tune, like in jazz tunes, there's very uh, the like the charts are usually wrong, so
Yeah,
it's just
almost
wait
always.
wasted. Right, so waste of time using it anyway. So I just pick a version I like of the tune, and then just learn the harmony first, and
Sure.
then how they play the melody. And that's usually if the melody is simple, it's easier to learn how like Django plays the melody or Stan Getz plays the melody. So it's
Right.
easier to kind of like how they phrase it to get it
Mm-hmm.
than just like kind of try to read it and memorize.
Sure. That's awesome. How do you, I don't know, like how do you think about harmony, right? It's like when you see a set of changes, you know what I mean? Like what mechanism kind of pops into your mind other than obviously you're just playing, but like, I would say is like, is it more of like a modal kind of view or more like, seeing arpeggios with like, maybe like passing tones around them or an integrated
Uh,
thing?
Definitely, arpeggio kind of thing. But
Mm-hmm.
it's yeah, to like if I learn a new tune, so I just kind of like okay, so it's first in let's say D minor, and then it goes to just like the overall that it goes, then it goes to E major or something. So
Mm-hmm.
um, so not necessarily even like that it's two fives or and then later on
Just
you
filling in
like
the blanks of the harmony.
right. But like if I my soloing, it's definitely like arpeggio based mostly.
Arpeggio bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. That's pretty common. Like, again, I come from like the fusion world, and it's like deeply modal. It's like
Right.
the whole idea is that like you take a look at a song like I don't know, minor swing. So it's like
Hmm.
like for the span of time that you're in a chord, you're not really thinking about the chord tones. You're just thinking kind of about the mode and maybe like and you can add chromaticism to every part of the mode rather than to just gravitate around the chord tones. But it definitely produces a kind of playing where,
Hmm.
when you're playing fusion, not like, gypsy jazz, where if you just hear the soloist, it's less, they don't spell out the story of the harmony quite as clearly as like a guy like Django, where you can really follow the solo just listening to the melodic line.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, those are my favorite players. Like when you like really hear the changes, and now like if I listen to the rhythm, like someone playing rhythm changes, it's like when they actually play all the changes, and then they like start to do some. I really like respect those guys, kind of like. and
Yeah.
and now
Those,
now actually like for the first time learning Bach, it's like wow, this guy just like this
he,
line
he
keeps going, and
spells
you
it.
can hear
He spells
you
it
can
out.
hear like so clearly like what chord is it. So,
Well, rhythm change is a good thing to talk about because it's like that song. It's like when you take a look at like Charlie Parker playing it is traditionally a mess. Like if you listen to like the famous recordings and the changes that the soloist plays versus the changes the piano is playing at the same time, they're kind of playing a lot of versions of especially like the second line of the song, right? When it goes to like the 2/5 to the four like
mm,
measures like 5, 6, 7, and 8 of rhythm changes. Like,
mm,
a lot of times you hear people playing all sorts of things, but since it's so fast, it's kind of like you don't hear the clashes. But I think, yeah, that's a hard, and that's a thing that's really not, you don't see too much in gypsy jazz, but you see more in like modern jazz, that thing where the harmonic rhythm is 2 beats per chord, right? And it's kind of like, 1, 6, 2, 5, dun, dun, or like, and you have to like actually compensate for those changes. But if you're playing eighth notes, you only have 4 notes per chord, right? Gypsy jazz tends to like switch every measure. So how do you go about practicing lines like that, right? Spelling out things that fast, like.
Well, it's kind of like you figure out slowly first if you like actually, but then it's like the more you do it, and then you start to like really see the little what do you call it, the the guide tones or whatever.
Yeah, the guide tones between the lines, like
Yeah.
like that. Those like
right. So then it's once you practice all these arpeggios and phrases and licks, and so then you can actually, after that, all that work, start improvising, and but still, at really burning tempos, I have my phrases that I play.
Yeah, there's the stock things. You're yeah. I mean, it's like a survival mechanism after a certain kind of thing, unless you have.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a real question, because it's like when you listen to people like Charlie Parker play over rhythm changes, he's not hitting a lot of those like 3, 6, 2, 5s. Like he's not really doing that. It's like, he's skipping that, and he's kind of playing blues over more than half the phrase. And it's like, those 8 measures, they go by so fast that it's like, it's just like playing a lot of like those kind of Popeye kind of sounding things.
Right. That's well, that in gypsy jazz there's actually not that much happen. The blues side of it, it's doesn't happen that much. So I think like now playing art shop, I've learned more from the kind of the American thing.
The bebop side, yeah.
Right. But yeah, I like Angel DeBar. I think he's kind of like one of those guys who plays gypsy jazz kind of like a bebop player. Like he really plays all lines, all the changes.
Sure, really in there. Yeah.
So,
dude, my favorite is Jimmy Rosenberg. I just like when he was like on top of it. It was like watching a force of nature. I don't know.
He's
in
one
the
of my
time.
favorites.
I don't know what it is though. It's like it's so weird, because like a lot of people play a lot of the same kind of things, but it's like listening to Michael Brecker play. Like some people can generate this rhythmic momentum. Like it's like it's something about how like the notes are placed in the groove, just like the time. Definitely. It's just like fucking unbelievable. It's like plowing through the music.
Yeah, I'm more and more thinking like that's at the end. It's about the touch. Like all these greats, they have some like unique touch. The instrument, and that's what
the real talent, right?
Like Oscar Peterson, Django, Brecker.
Right, they do.
Angel DeBar,
they
Jimmy
do something. Exactly, they do something that's just like so powerful. So let me ask you this: like amplifying these gypsy. I mean, I'm assuming that like a part of the decision going to archtop is how much of a bitch it is to amplify a gypsy guitar, because it's just a nightmare. There's no like real answer to that problem. Like, but what is like? I saw that you played with like steamer style pickups for a while, and. But what's the ideal situation that you find for like, amplifying a gypsy guitar and really getting the sound across?
Well, pretty much now when I play gypsy guitar, it's every time it's just a condenser mic.
You don't do the pickup anymore?
No, if I'm playing a club gig in New York where it's kind of can be loud and like there's no good sound system or sound engineer, so then I bring my own amp or something. So then I use the
archtop.
The archtop, or if I play gypsy guitar, then I use the steamer.
Is there any advantage of like, because it's a pretty electric sound with the steamer, so it's like, is there any advantage of like the gypsy guitar over the archtop with the steamer?
There definitely is. You get like more of that gypsy kind of punchy
Yeah.
sound. What do you like? Actually, I was playing in Brooklyn last night, and I was playing Art Stop, and the last song we finished, we played La Gita on the
Uh-huh.
waltz, and I was like, that time I was like, oh, I wish I had a gypsy guitar because you don't get that punch
Right,
the
right.
note. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different. Cool. So, but condenser mics. So that's the way to go.
I think, yeah, I've been just using that.
How,
Um,
where
you,
do you tend to place it? Like, like this is
I
the
have,
guitar. Like, where does it
yeah,
sit? Like, 12 fret
I
kind of.
yeah, I have a few different places. It's usually like the fifth, kind of like the 15th fret, or then like close close to the bridge.
Close to the bridge. Yeah, never by the
Yeah,
sound hole. You don't want to get that like.
yeah, or between the like the 15 and the sound hole. That's one place where maybe like usually I now put it.
Yeah, that's kind of bright.
Right.
And how,
Yeah.
like, do you have any like problems putting it in your monitor and stuff? Does it like feedback?
That's the thing. It's like pretty much every time there's some kind of problems. It's very
Yeah.
rare that it's like perfect right away, or it's like ever perfect. So now when I've been playing more art stuff, and I'm like, if I have a deluxe reverb, and I'm like, wow, it sounds
It's
good
like
every
I
time, and it's
plug in and play. It's like wow.
so yeah, that's the thing. Like with the Rhythm Future, play these venues, and every night is a different sound engineer and different.
Right.
Uh, well, the other guys, they use the DPA, the gooseneck mics.
Mm.
Um, but that mic has the same problems too. With the gypsy
Sure.
guitar.
Yeah,
So
well, I
it's
used the Audio Technica one that's like right in the hole,
oh
but
yeah,
like that's
yeah,
yeah. I mean, all the solutions are kind of cheap solutions for a big problem. It's really,
right.
I found pickups that I really like. The Cravo. I don't know if you played those. They make what they call the Django Bucker. It's a new
Hmm.
it's a new thing.
I think
Uh,
I've seen them. Yeah.
yeah, so they sound great, but again,
Mm.
it's an electric sound, right? And
Right,
it's like
right. Yeah.
and I don't know, it's like for me, like with my band, I plug into like a 412 with a Strat. It's like the fucking loudest thing in the world, and it's awesome,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the idea, like picking up a gypsy guitar and like running into this world of problems, just
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
amplifying it. It's very frustrating,
Right.
especially like, you have like an AJL. That thing sounds like a dream when you're across from it. And then it's like, you put a pickup on it, it sounds like anything.
Yeah. 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 That's the thing. Yeah, and it's like, well, I've been like these days just happy if I can hear myself through a monitor. It doesn't even matter what the sound is, but if I can hear myself, I'm good to go play a gig. But one thing is a good thing to like to avoid feedback and make the sounds like it's easier. If the whole band is kind of the volume is not too, the more there's volume on stage and or in the room, if there's the more there's going to be
Mm-hmm.
problems. So like with the Rhythm Future, we really like like a little boost, but it's like basically it's
Almost nothing.
acoustic. Yeah.
Right. That's great.
So
That's great. And it's like mixing to
that's
something real. And then,
right.
you know,
And sometimes you actually get to play just acoustically,
that's the best.
which
That's
is
ideal. But people have to be like dead quiet. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but,
yeah. And
that's awesome.
sometimes for the guitar, it's like if there's a violin, it's the violin is a little bit, so it's like good to have a little bit uh boost for the guitar,
Yeah.
but also it's nice to dig in sometimes, just like try
Uh,
to
get the volume
get
with
it.
your body.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
what, like you play with a rhythm guitar player very often. Like, what do you like to hear behind you for support, and what don't you like? Because I'll let you talk, but it's like I've been in many situations where I was like, this is not gonna work, right? So it's like, what kind? If you could speak honestly to your rhythm guitar player, what kind of things do you tell them?
Um, well, obviously that they should have a good time.
Yeah,
That it's not speeding up too much, and definitely not dragging, because that's
yeah,
that's
that's the
basically
worst.
yeah, and then hopefully if there's a bass player, they lock in and it's create
Mm-hmm.
this nice um, and I like it when it's kind of simple, not too much going on uh, um, like fills and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um,
How about like, do you like a lot of like that kind of bouncy stuff with like the ends of 2 and 4, or like kind of a straighter kind of thing? Like, do like they do that
uh,
every fucking other beat? Like, to me, it's like sometimes it could drive
yeah,
a person crazy.
uh, yeah. I mean, I kind of like the at least way I play rhythm. It's kind of specific to a song that like
Hmm.
if it's like we were playing kind of try to bring back the Django Stefan thing from the 30s and play one of those old tunes. So then it's more like the bouncy thing.
Hmm.
And but then is if we would like do a bebop tune or something, so then it's more yeah
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, but this yeah, I think just the good sense of time and able to lock in and listen, not play too loud and not too much uh fills that
Hmm.
throw me off or yeah. Because it's cool, yeah, especially in the fast tempos, because it's this constant quarter note, so it takes a lot of space, and I guess
Yeah.
that's what kind of the thing with gypsy jazz is like that like the solo is in a way it's a kind of part of the rhythm section by playing those 8 lines and locking in with the rhythm section. So
Sure. Yeah, that's like driving the thing for a while.
right,
Right.
right.
Now, when you're playing extreme tempos, like and playing rhythm, what changes in the way, like, in the way you hold your hand, like, those kind of Jimmy Rosenberg tempos where he's taking some of the song like like super fast. Like, how do you, like, is there something like technically a little bit different in the way like you play rhythm rather than like, no
uh
medium?
yeah, I think yeah, I try to like have a little more wrist, kind of like this kind of movement
Yeah,
that
the
like
side to side.
yeah, try to like minimize all the extra movements and just save stamina.
Yeah.
Well, but I've been like with the rhythm feature, when we play those really fast tempos, then it's Max plays more rhythm guitar, and I just can't, so I just play like one chord here and
Bing,
there, and
bing, bing.
yeah, yeah. Wait for my turn to solve. No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but it's and but then but sometimes then like the last few two choruses we might like really pump it up and we both play rhythm.
Hmm.
So, but it's good to not do the same thing all the time, and it's like
Sure.
comping.
It's weird because it seems to me like there's definitely a tempo where like you really like feel 2 and 4, and then like you go past it and you just feel one. It's like everything's oriented to like that the
Mm.
halftime bass note, like 1 and 3.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah,
you can't really like you're not really
yeah,
tapping
yeah,
there
yeah.
anymore. So it's like the rhythm just kind of, when it's like after a certain speed, you're just like orienting your body to the beats rather than the off beats.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Survival mode.
Survival mode, exactly. Well, I had like, I was studying with a percussionist, and he was talking about pulse, and what like the difference between tempo and pulse, and how like we each have a heartbeat and our own pulse. And he was saying that the difference between a song's tempo and a song's pulse is where you choose to feel it, right? Because it's like if you have like Cherokee and
Hmm.
that's your tempo. It's like if you think about it in human terms, and your heartbeat would beat that speed, you'd be dying, right? Or like running the
Hmm.
fastest. But you can like kind of take those quarter notes and feel them as half notes or as 16th notes. And it's like
Hmm.
how you relate to that tempo as a human being. It's like, a lot of times when you see like Oscar Peterson, like, burning through
Hmm.
something, if you look at like where he's tapping his foot, like on a thing where it's like a rhythm change, like he's really thinking about those things as 30-second notes. He's here. It's like
Right, right. Yeah, yeah,
so takes
yeah,
training.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, this great Finnish sax player, Jukka Perko, he used to play with Dizzy and stuff like that, and he told me that Dizzy taught him like that when you play like those really fast tempo. So then you just think the one,
of the measure,
starts.
right?
Yeah, just like you just walk that tempo, like instead of running it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right there. But yeah, it's hard. I think the thing that's tricky about that is so much of jazz phrasing is about ending on upbeats. Right, it's like when you're playing like it's like you're always ending on up. But if you slow down the pulse, then to end up on the offbeat, right? It's like even if you end up on the offbeat of this artificial pulse, it's the beat in the tempo, right? So it's like you gotta train yourself to like land on like these 30-second notes that are up, like right? So that's tricky.
Yeah.
Kind of a tricky thing to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so much to practice. That's
Right.
thing,
Right. Well, I think that's a lesson to like, a lot of the people watching is that there's no like clear destination. You just practice and then practice more.
Yeah. It's crazy. I feel like the more I know, the less I know.
Yeah, that's always the truth. That means you're on the right path, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Please plug in like whatever. Where can people buy your music, hear your music? If they can spell your name, they can watch you on YouTube.
Yeah. If you go to my website, just myname.com. Maybe you can like put
your name is in the title.
Yeah, cool. and yeah, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Follow there. I'm pretty active on those, and I post where I'm going and coming to play, and then rhythmfuturequartet.com. It's you can we had like a last year new record come out, so check that out. AJL guitars, the best guitars in the world.
It really is the best guitars. I have to admit. I mean, I played one. I was just like, damn.
Yeah, this guy makes some
the real deal.
Beautiful.
The real deal.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist also. Yeah, I've seen him work. Yeah, so
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. What else? That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see
you
around.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty, Olli. Well, we'll see you next time.
Talk soon. All right.
Bye.